give you the latest news from the opening round in Dubai, where South Africa will be in play for a sixth consecutive Dubai Sevens title after reaching the quarterfinals with a 24-19 golden point win over France in their Group A clash just a few minutes ago. Great Britain faced Spain on Sunday morning in the first quarterfinals before South Africa played former series champions New Zealand in the second matchup. Up next will be a clash between the 2024 Olympic gold medalist France, who will be playing 2020 and 2016 Olympic gold medalist Fiji. The last quarterfinal of the day will see Argentina face Australia. The day, though, started with two African teams on the hunting for a spot in the quarters. South Africa beating Australia 17-0 before losing to fellow African side Kenya 17-22. South Africa would redeem themselves by beating France 24-19 to reach the quarters. Kenya, on the other hand, only beat South Africa before losing to France and Australia in subsequent fixtures. Well, as the tournament gets underway in Dubai, I earlier spoke to South African rugby expert Kanyiso Shwaku, and I began by asking him about the highlighted results from the opening round. Let's take a look.
Well, I mean, who cannot be shocked by what Spain did over the past two rounds, where they actually also in beating New Zealand, beating Fiji. They've set the catch firmly amongst the pitches. It's also the result between Kenya and South Africa, where Kenya beat South Africa 2-1. The joy with Sevens rugby in particular is that you get days, you get results where teams somehow play above and beyond themselves. And in playing above and beyond themselves, they are able to produce such results where you see a Spanish team that has been developing over a while, and then all of a sudden they beat a New Zealand side that seems to be in transition at the moment. So as much as the Kenya result is not always surprising, considering that every so often Kenya do get the better of South Africa, Spain winning two of the opening group games is probably the biggest shock so far.
The catchphrase is over and beyond, that is for sure. Now, what do you think about the new format of that tournament that teams like Kenya, Uruguay, and China have experienced today in Dubai?
The most important thing about Sevens is it is probably World Rugby's best platform of growing the game. It requires less resources to grow. It requires a lot less money to put in to develop the game. And also it's able to attract players athletes who develop in other sporting codes, who then pick up the game of rugby late and then are able to run with it. Remember that 15s is quite a specialist intensive position where a lot of players need to grow into positions like your locks and your props need to grow, and your hookers need to grow into those positions through specialized structures, whereas the game of sevens is far more easily picked up. So from a growth perspective, and the fact that it was such a popular sport the Olympics, and the fact that again it's been opened up to even more countries, speak to the popularity of sevens rugby.
All right, now the next round comes down to Africa in Cape Town. What should we expect and look forward to?
The tricky part is that there's a big expectation for South Africa to at least try and get to the final. One of the biggest disappointments from a local watching perspective is that ever since the Sevens moved from George to Gqeberha to Cape Town, is that the South African team has not been able to put up very good winning numbers, and that also includes the World Cup. I suspect that it has also may have had an impact in terms of the way the crowd attendances, because there was on Friday a Black Friday family ticket special to just make sure that to boost ticket sales. So as much as the South African team is also going through an elongated stage of development, even though they did actually perform very well at the Olympics, the appetite for sevens rugby isn't quite as much as it used to be, and I suspect it has a lot to do with the downdraw of success that the men's sevens team has been experiencing.